So now we're at the point of talking about neck angle. So in the last video, I'm sanding the top, I'm sanding the sides to receive the top. So part of that is determining the neck angle, because now some people build with a dome top. I don't. I build with a flat top. And what I do is I angle the area of the sides so that basically it makes a ramp. So now if you can see, so let me show you this. See what I'm doing. So you see that mark there? That's where the bridge is going to go. So now, if I put the straight edge on here, and let's get the good, there it is. Now you can see the gap there, how it's coming up at an angle. So in other words, if there was no angle, the straight edge would be like this, but there it is. So at that point of the bridge, it's right now about 1/8 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch. So why are we doing that? We're doing that because if you don't do that, your bridge will be too low. So if this was straight, if this whole thing was just straight, and there was no neck angle, and the straight edge touched there, your bridge would be too low. So the optimal height for a bridge, again, this is varies by luthier. You're talking somewhere, well, bridges generally in steel string guitars can be anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch. Quarter is too low in my opinion. Just there's no room. Once it settles in a little, and you have nowhere to go. I usually shoot for around 3/8 of an inch. Definitely no less than 5/16, with at least almost 1/8 of an inch of saddle coming out of the bridge. So now that we have that determined, we have to figure out a way to put that angle, once again, that angle here, which only really happens, the fretboard ends right here. So if the fretboard ends there, it's only this area here that has to ramp up. So the way I'm doing that, I'm going to turn the camera around, and in the next video I'll show you how I'm doing that. Actually, I think I can do it now. I have my board. This is my sand board I showed you before, but what it is basically, it's just some very coarse sandpaper, 50 grit I believe, glued to a big flat piece of plywood. It's quite large. It's about 18 inches by almost 3 feet long. So for the part of the guitar that's flat, I simply Now some guys just take a stick and put sandpaper on it and kind of go around, but to me that doesn't make sense because it's going to give you valleys, and you're really not registering on it. Since this is flat, it makes this flat. So again, I'm concerned with going from about this point here back. So even if I do the whole thing at first, that's okay. So then the next step, once I have that determined, my flat area, now I want to put the angle in for the ramp for the next. So now I am going to sand in the neck angle to the part of the guitar from here to about here. So after getting the back part all flat, that's what I'm going to do. So what I do is I take this board, it's about 1/4 of an inch thick, and I use it to pick up the back of the guitar here. And so what it's doing, it's giving an angle that way, and I will sand. So now this one I can't sand back and forth because that would change the registration each time, so I have to go sideways. So what I'll do here is I will show you with chalk how I do this. I'll find my piece of chalk. So if I take chalk here and I chalk this area, it'll show you what's happening. So you see the chalk there? Now we're going to go this way once again. what we got. So you can see there's a little chalk left right there, and I'm sort of almost where I want to be. I want to be right about there. So it's slowly bringing this angled plane down towards the back of the guitar. So okay, so I think I'm just about there. So now I'm about right here, and if we measure on our top, basically what do we want to be about 4.5 inches down. That's the end of our fretboard, so that's about here. Yep, a little more, just about there. It's a little tedious, this process, but I found that this is the best way. I've done it different ways, and this, for me, is the best way. I think I've never really seen anyone do it this exact way. I mean, they're very similar, so I sort of developed it myself, sort of, kind of. Alright, so I think I'm there now. So, the next step, what I'm going to do, is I am going to put the top on temporarily. So I have to let in the braces. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to do my lining next, my kerf lining, and then resand it on the board with the kerf lining on. Then I am going to cut out for my braces, and then I am going to put the top on temporarily with some clamps, maybe some go bars, and check the angle to make sure it's what I want, and then I can still adjust it before I glue it on, because once you glue it on, it's over.